everyone, Emily here. Welcome to my What I Colored in May 2023 video. This video is so late in the making. I've had the pile, a separate pile for what I colored in May and what I colored in June just sitting here. But generally as I color my pictures throughout the month, I stack them in a pile. And I don't go back and do the finishing details until right before I show the video, like my Posca pen, doing the whites of the eyes, or maybe some eyeshadow makeup or eyelashes, or putting in my stickles, or doing my background like my pen pastels. I tend to do all the little details at the end of the month. So I just color them the way I want and then I do details later. So I've been way behind and kind of procrastinating doing all the details. So here we go now. I'm going to show you a beautiful Etsy printable, some Patreon and books, what I colored in May. Next weekend, I'll show you what I colored in June. Really excited to show these to you. Let's start with this beautiful one by Rina Art. On Etsy, it's, I think it's Coloring Books 2020, but it's by Rina, and I'll just link below if any of these are still available. Sometimes I'll buy them and not color them for 6 months, but I'll see if they're still available. Remember, May was still spring, so a lot of these are springtime photos, art and color palettes. But I love this one with the earth tones. I think I did a tutorial, I don't know if I published it, but I'm pretty sure I recorded a tutorial showing you how to do this skin. Some of the Rina pictures have a lot of this pencil sketch, and I showed you how to color up all those pencil-y lines with like alcohol markers when doing skin by putting some darker skin tones and shadow. It does look more pronounced here under the bright white light flash of my camera, whereas looking at it directly in person, this is not quite as pronounced, the difference. But I'm pretty sure I did a video. I might have even shown how I did the hair. But this is an example of how I like to blend colors from the background into the center focal point, which is often a portrait. So you see the 3 greens I put into the leaves. I also put into the eye makeup. Eye makeup I always do in Prismacolor pencils, but I'll find coordinating greens that match when I do marker for leaves. The eyes, the interior of the flowers. Same orange here in the flowers that I also put into her hair, but I also use some browns and a little bit of tans in her hair for multi, color sort of dimensions that look like roots and whatnot. And then I did the earth tone brown in her dress that's also in her hair and in the stems. So really we have like 4 colors in the whole picture. We have orange, yellow, greens, and browns. So all earth tones. And then of course I use my pan pastel dry brush for the background. But you can see where I did the white, the little dots here on the flowers. You can see in her lips I put like the sparkle gloss. I had to do the white Posca pen with the teeth. And I had to come in and do the eyes and eye makeup. So those are some of the details I'm talking about that I'll tend to do, at the end of the month when I've colored everything. Here's another beautiful springtime one with earth tones by Lana Green that I love a lot. Again, we have, the sunflowers, but I tried to bring the sunflower colors into the girl, into her dress, into her bonnet, into the sunflowers here, even into her hair. So the sunflower colors, and these were all done in Ohuhu markers. The sunflower colors are the same browns in her dress, the same orange you have around the ring, same oranges up here. And I used an alcohol blender marker to blend all my colors in the bonnet and whatnot. But I did put a little more reds, like auburns in her hair. Again, pan pastels in the background. And again, details you can see in her lips. I have a little bit of a lighter shadow, eye makeup in Prismacolors, eyeliner, the lashes. I actually put sparkle stuff on her eyes so you can see too. So those are, again, some of the details I like to add later. And this is a printable, I believe, from Etsy. I'll see if I can print that. Link that below, I mean. And I did give this more of a watercolor look by using a lot of heavy alcohol blender there. Because I like the look of watercolors, but I don't like watercolors. This beautiful one is by, I believe, this was a Patreon picture, 1920s. It's an A4, so it's a little bit long. Gosh, Patreon, I have both. Oh, is it Rina or is it Lou Art Dream? I think I have Patreon for both. This one might be Lou Art Dream. I completely can't remember, but I'll link below the Patreon. This one was April or May's picture, but I just love the vintage old car, and I wanted to do this flapper girl. But again, a lot of these pencil sketches, you can look up close. You see in the art style, that's the art style. But the details I did, stickles for the gemstones, stickles here for the jewels. I did stickles on her nails. Not sure if you can see that. The makeup, I went pretty heavy. I messed up under the eyeliner, but oh well. Put a little white Posca for the lips. For the glass, I left the glass clear and I colored what's in the background through the glass, and then I went over it with this. This is a Spectrum, I think it's my Spectrum Noir clear gloss pen. So I put that little bit of gloss, like you can see it in the mirrors, and you can kind of see it on the window a little, so it looks a little bit like glass. And again, I wanted to do it kind of watercolor style. I believe this whole picture was done in a Hoo pastel set, except for the stone, which I did in just one of the regular warm grays from a different Ohuhu set that I have. So yeah, I thought that was kind of fun. I did the dress all in the pastels, and of course, Copic marker I do for the skin. I got a little more pink like than I meant to, but I guess it looks kind of like a little bit of a sunburn. Okay, here we have a very basic one I did by Lenka Filonenka. I do buy her gorgeous books, which you'll see I colored many for May, from Etsy. They come from overseas. I think this one came as a free picture printout on cardstock with one of the books I bought. So I don't know if this is available on the Etsy. It might be. I can take a look, or you can take a look if I forget. But anyway, I did the liquid pearls here that you can't tell, but it's kind of bumpy and raised. For the necklace, again, I did Prismacolor makeup with sparkle for the shadow. I did freckles for details, put some lip gloss on, and then you see this ring here. I did also that liquid pearl gem. I used my Winsor Newton marker set for these. One of my sets, I have all of them. And I did a darker purple, a light purple, and then a lavender in these light spots. And then I went over with the alcohol blender that I love, just in the light lavender areas to lighten it to look kind of white. And I'm going to show you the alcohol blender I use. The purpose of that is just to make it look a little bit more like where there's more shadows or light hitting it, or like you would look at maybe a flower out in the sun, how it would be lighter and darker in some parts. And these are the art. These are my Art and Fly 3-pack of alcohol blender markers. I have one out I'm using right now, but this is what I used, and I love them. I use them. It has the chisel, and then it's got the brushed nib, but I use it for almost all my alcohol markers for blending. If I want to have some like lighter areas and things like that. I think I did that here too. You can see where it's hot pink in the tips. It was actually dark, but I used my alcohol blender there, so it makes it a different color. It lightens it. Yeah, so that was Lenka Filonenka. I didn't do any other background on there, but oh well. Here's Dara Kerkersoy's Mer Month, because May was Mer Month. I believe this was an Etsy printable. I am a part of the Patreon as well, but I don't think this was Patreon. Used neon orange markers, just basic neons. I might use my Copic Chows for this one. Regular Copic skin tones, and again, I use 3 different shades when I do dark skin. I use a dark for the outline, around the nose, the side, and then I use a medium dark as I blend in, and then a light one. I do the underlying pink, then I do the lightest brown in the nose, the forehead. Then I go over with my alcohol blender to create some of these lighter skin areas you see here. That's how I do dark skin. I use neon pinks for the hair, 2 or 3 blues for the background, including some alcohol blender in the middle. I think it turned out really nice. I did do gloss on the lips and white Posca paint pen for little spots on my goldfish, but I thought that was cute. Yeah, it made me happy because I love mermaids, and mermaids are fun. So that's Sarah Kirkaskoy. That should be on Etsy. This is my Hannah Lynn Patreon mermonth, so I assume this was May. I did my beautiful mermaid in very soft pastels. Again, used my Ohuhu markers, my Copic markers for the skin. The rest was Ohuhu. This, you know, I pay for the higher tier, so I get the choice of grayscale or line art, and I choose the grayscale always. So this one was grayscale, so the sky was already black and gray. So I actually, all I did is put a little more black like here and here, but all of this gray was, I didn't even touch. That's how the picture was. I just put on some more of the little white jigglies there. I used a very light yellow pencil for here. And then I did these, I did again the eyes with Prismacolor pencils. And you can see the necklace, I use my liquid pearl, so they're raised. They're bumpy when you feel it. If you can turn it sideways, not sure if you can see the texture. But yeah, I used the beautiful liquid pearls and then some stickles there for the gemstone, silver marker, or silver metallic on there. So those were some of the details I added here for my beautiful mermaid. About 2 or 3 yellows in the hair as well. So that was fun. I have a very basic one I was not very happy with here. This is by Mariella Budek from Etsy. It was something I did really cheap markers on. I'm trying to use up some of my budget markers. I think they might be, oh God, what are they called? Bignanos or Bignanos, some very cheap marker, probably $20-something for a whole set, and I was trying to use some of them up. Did that whole thing in this, messed up a lot. I did try to do freckles on her. I made them too big, and I did try to go over some of it with pencil. I put some little pen here, but I even used my cheap markers on the skin tone, and it just doesn't look as natural, but it's what it is. I didn't put much more effort in it. I just did this whole thing in like an hour, and then I kind of just didn't like the look of it too much. I mean, I love the bow, and I love the little outfit, but the rest I just didn't like. So this is also on Etsy as well. All right, here's another beautiful Lana Green, which I adore. Absolutely love this one. Cannot remember if this is Etsy or she has a few free ones on her website. Might have been there. Probably Etsy. But I just wanted to go with these really gorgeous popping, like spring color palette with the pinks and the blues and the greens. But I wanted like a little bit of a electro pop with the hair. So I did all these hot pinks. You know, I used Prismacolor markers. I did all these hot pinks. The turquoise is kind of the Native American look. And we have silver earrings, which I did a metallic. And then I used jewel colors, liquid jewel. You can see for the blue topaz earrings, which I also brought some of that blue into her eyes. Again, pencil for makeup, hot pink lips. But I wanted the hair to be the same color kind of as the flowers. So it's like she's like a flower girl. It all blends together. I even put a little bit of this pink in there too. But I did like a bright popping red and an auburn and a black for her hair. In the flowers, similar reds. And then I brought some of this pink into there, but I thought that looked really nice. The background was kind of a disaster. Background are gelatos. I rubbed them in dry, and then they were streaking, so I went in with a wet brush to give it kind of like this watercolor look, like this marbly squiggle watercolor look, but it, you know, it rolls up the paper because it really isn't a good water paper. My Nina paper isn't great for water, so it's not flat anymore. But you know, trial and error, right? Trial and error. All right, now we're going to be into the books. I will show you what I did in my Deborah Muller's Mermaids Around the World. Was not happy with the first picture I did in here. This one I did was from the Ukraine, and due to all the things going on in the Ukraine this last year, I started with this darker blue water, and then the marker ran out. So I didn't have a similar blue alcohol marker that would blend, so I went into like this lighter kind of mint green water, and the transition of it was kind of funky. And again, I used kind of cheap markers for the dress and the hair and the skin, trying to use up those Bignano markers. So, you can definitely tell the difference. It doesn't even matter if it's on Amazon paper when you use cheap markers versus good ones, like the skin didn't blend. And this was just all done with cheap marker. This was like a late night can't sleep picture I did. I think that's it though, right? Yeah, that's the only one I did for Mer Month from Deborah's book. However, I did do in her Celebrate Through the Seasons book, I did do this one, which I think was, yeah. Is this even the right month? I'm not completely within the right months right now, just to let you know. Yeah, no, this was, well, yeah, this was May. So I did this one. This is done all in my Arteza alcohol markers with a blender, with the same blender. You can see how I made it look like denim because I use a dark and a medium and a light blue. And then where I do the lightest blue, I also go over with the alcohol marker, which gives like a faded, soft, fluffy look, which I like as well. I realized I didn't finish her eye details or her makeup, so I guess I didn't finish this picture. Her eyes didn't get all the white and everything. But, so I did that one. And I also did the April in Paris, because I hadn't done April before. So really had fun with this one, with the kind of black dress, kind of a little bit of gray in her hair to make her look a little more sophisticated, gray in the glasses, and again, alcohol marker in the sky with the grays and blues. That's why it looks kind of fluffy and multicolored here. Same with the sky. So that's kind of the effect you get with the blender when you do a few different markers and then blend it like that. Same with the water. So that one was fun. I've been to Paris. It was all right. I wouldn't say it was my favorite. These are some older ones I've already, or works in progress, or ones you've already seen in the past. All right. Actually, I didn't like Paris that much. It was too much walking. My feet hurt constantly. And people were kind of mean. Just be honest. Okay, this is what I did in Cute Woodland. Love this book. It's one of my favorite, like, it's going to be good for summer, so I plan on doing some more summer pictures. And I'm going to also link all the books you see here below as well. Cute Woodland, I did this adorable little deer with, again, inexpensive alcohol markers, trying to use up with just some blender, just a fun, quick, easy picture. Did that one. Was there another one I did? I love this book. Look how cute it is. I'm going to do some more of these here in July. You'll get to see. I'll link this book below if you want to check it out. I could swear I did another one, didn't I? Or maybe that was a different book. Oh, look. I should do that one. Oh, I guess I didn't. Maybe I was planning on doing it. So I'm setting this aside because I'm going to be doing some of these for July. Oh, no, I'm thinking of this one, Hello Country Spring. Yeah, by Joshua Dunbar. I did several in this book. Starting with these. This was kind of like a tutorial I did on coloring flowers with alcohol marker. Again, my gorgeous Ohuhus. Any of the sets, you can use any of them. I have all of them, the Honolulu and the Oahu series I've been collecting. Just a few different pinks, purples, or blues in each one. All the entire picture done. The alcohol blender for that very soft painted look, which I enjoy a great deal. Did this little duckling also. Same Ohuhu markers with an alcohol blender. I think I did all these in 1 week. Just kind of some quick, easy, cute spring pictures. I thought that was fun. It's a fun book to color in. I also did, actually I did 4 in this book. Again, did this one, Ohuhu markers with my gorgeous alcohol blenders. All these are Ohuhu, no pencil in any of them. And you can really create a really nice look with a good quality alcohol marker, even on Amazon paper with a blender. Sometimes I might go in with a pencil and do some shadow work, but I actually didn't. But sometimes I do that, which can even make it look even nicer. But don't think that you can't get good blending results or alcohol marker results on basic Amazon paper. And then also this one I did, the little kitty. I loved this book. I don't know why I was so into this book. This kitty I did after my beautiful Bella, who passed away in March. My beautiful calico. She had a lot more white than this, but it's hard to do white in coloring, so put a little more black in her. My Bella, she was 16 when she died. You might have seen some of my other pictures in March and April. I did some cat pictures. This lamp, again, this is all Ohuhu markers with blender. I did use a gold sparkle pen here for this part of the gold, and a brass and a metal on this lamp. I love, oh God, I can't remember the name. Let me see if I have them right here. Yes, I do. These are the ones I use. They're called Guanganon 18 color metallic pens. Absolutely love them. I've used them for so many different details. They're inexpensive. I'll link these below if you're interested, but I use these a lot for details and things. Jewelry, gold, objects. They've come in really handy, and they're really thick and creamy and sparkly. I really love them. This is a great book. Love it. So I did those 4 pictures. So then I have, all I have remaining are my Lenka Filonenka books. And I did several pictures in each of these 4 books. I have to admit, the Lenka Filonenka books are probably my all-time favorite books to color in, because they're heavy, they're sturdy. I mean, they're overseas, right? But they're expensive, but they're spiral bound. The paper is just, it's, you know, it's big. It's like A4 size. The paper is super thick, and since I love markers so much, the markers are beautiful on it. Every medium has worked on it. Here is one that I did this month. Little fairy. This is the fairy book. I just wanted more bright popping spring colors. Not many details in here, just a little bit on the eyes and on the bee wings, a little bit of the makeup. But yeah, it's just my favorite book to color in. You've seen the last several months of coloring videos I did, ones that I've done before. Here's another one I did with the wildcat and the woods. I did like a navy blue sky, and actually did pencil on the trees. Pencil, actually, yeah, most of this is pencil except for the skin, which is Copic marker. So this was all pencil, and then some white Posca details. So this was all done in pencil. So you can see pencil works just as well as marker. There's another new one I did for spring. Beautiful, like pastel. I did some watercolor. I did, oh God, what is it? Watercolor pencils, Prismacolor watercolor pencils, I believe they were. And then I used the brush for the background. Then all these were done in marker with my beautiful little bird. I thought this was so sweet. Love this one. Then this one for Fairy Month. Did stickles just in some of these details. Not all, because it would have taken a lot of stickles, and they're, you know, they are kind of expensive and hard to find refill colors. So I did this one. I love how this braid goes down with the stickles. And the rest are ones you've seen in like previous month coloring videos. So those are the only new ones for Fairy Bliss. In Victorian Grace, this is probably my favorite book because I love all things vintage. I did this absolutely gorgeous one with the fan. This one was so much fun. Look at the details. Background was just a plain lemon yellow alcohol marker. All these were done in Copic Chow markers for all of these, and alcohol blender. But I believe for my Copics, I have my own Copic alcohol blender, which I use, which is really almost the exact same effect. But look at the details like I did on all these little flowers. It took forever. And the dress has all these shades of blues and greens, like 5 to 6 different blues and greens kind of blended in her dress. with the pink trim to match the fan. Oh, and I even bejeweled this here, you can see. So that was fun. You've probably seen some of my other ones in here. This one I did last month. You've probably seen that one last month. This is the other new one, Horse and Rider. My horse, I don't like doing animals because I don't feel like they ever look realistic, but this one does because the artwork is so phenomenal, like with how the grayscale is and the shadows are in the right place. The paper's so smooth and dreamy, and markers just glide on and blend so well that I knew I could do a good horse, which I did like with 2 or 3 hoo-hoo browns and just a little bit of like blender in some of these spots to make the fur look lighter. I did like a marble kind of a sky with grays and blues and blended it. Her hair was a little more orange than I intended, but that's all right. So yeah, this one was fun. I think that's the only other one I did that you haven't seen yet. So I will continue plugging along, making progress in this book, because I'm planning on doing all of her books until they're completely colored. This is the newest one, Hello Spring. I did do a full flip through of this on my channel, which I'm happy to link below. So I think I only did one in this whole book. And I don't even think I did a background. Just wanted to do a simple wreath, test out how my Blick markers, my Blick alcohol marker set would blend, which I did on these with my blender. I think it did really pretty well. Not quite as vibrant as some of my others, but just some pastels I did. I don't think I did any more. No, but these are all like springtime animals, or some of this would be really cute for summer. So I better set this aside so I can do a couple for summer. Lastly is in Dream Dancers. Love this book so much as well. I did quite a few of these, I think in March or April. You can see in my previous What I Colored videos. I can link those below. But let's see. So you see all these gorgeous dancing dresses. This is one I did, my Flapper Girl. I wanted this to be in kind of Victorian colors, which are those kind of muted, but dark muted color shades, like with the kind of the sage grayish blue and the kind of Victorian shaded browns and reds and purples. And had to do like her teeth and all the details, and I used a very soft kind of white and gray actually for her skin. Copic markers. I love the navy dress with the mint in it. Let's see, what else did I do in this one? You've seen some of these. No, I did another one. Yeah, I did my Hawaiian Girl. I want all popping like bright neons in the background, which are all markers. Of course, I did the darker skin, might have been a little darker than I intended, in the grass skirt, and then I just blended all these flowers with hoo-hoo markers and alcohol blenders, which you don't have to use the alcohol blender. I often don't. You can just use a really light tone, like a really light peach, to blend in with your darker ones. That can blend it just as well. It's a little different, but so you don't have to do that. Is there any others? The one I started. Oh yeah, I did this one. Did my Flamingo Danza. Again, I've just really been into the earth tone for spring. I love earth tones, the greens, yellows, the reds, the browns, the oranges, kind of which are also kind of like autumn fall colors. But so here I did like this orange background kind of goes like this, which is also in the flowers. And then I did the brown background, kind of a tannish saddle brown here and here, which is what I did her hair with, and her eyes with. So whenever you do backgrounds, it's good to bring in some of the colors from your center point. I do realize I just didn't fix some of these. I didn't do the base of her shoes and a few details I missed here, but yeah, the greens and yellows I blended. These were all done with my Spectrum Noir Tri-Blend markers, which are very affordable. And this was solid browns. I wanted it to be kind of more like a rustic background, kind of like a faded wallpaper. So I just took my little, again, my handy dandy alcohol marker, and I just kind of did little squiggles right over it when it was wet, and it just kind of gave it this look. which some people don't like, or you could just do it solid if you like, but I wanted it to look like mottled, kind of faded, vintagey, like wallpaper. So yeah, I did that one. Here's one I'm doing. It's an 80s one, but it's not finished yet. I can show it to you, but not nearly done yet with my 80s one. Yeah, so that is everything, you guys. That is what I colored in May 2022. Hope you enjoyed this video. Keep it out next weekend for what I colored in June 2022, because I have even more. And please let me know below which is your favorite. And if you have any questions, and let's check my comments for links to all these books and downloads and other videos of things I colored you might be interested in. See you in the next video.